everybody. This is Vince of Listings to Leads, and this is the Facebook advertising class. And right before we started, I was asking some of the people on the call about their basics, and I'll re-ask this question: have you run ads in the past before? And most of you have, but some of you haven't. So we'll get into that. But one thing I want to kind of point out is you need to have a Facebook business page to run a Facebook ad, okay? And I think if I click on this, I'm in Facebook right now. I'm going to go to the home page because right now I'm on our mastermind group. I think if we go to a drop down here, that's not it, pages on the left, somewhere you can create a new page, right? Down here on the left. And this can be, and this may be the wrong place to do it. So it's kind of changed. I can tell you the one crazy making thing about Facebook is it changes all the time. But you can create a page, and you want to make sure you're creating a business page. This doesn't feel to me like it is a business page, and I think it's somewhere new. Yeah. So I won't waste our time on that one. But you definitely need a business page. It should be branded to you, perhaps branded to your office as well. And definitely you want to bring in the location, like where you are is usually part of your business page. This here is our mastermind group. If you're a client of ours, you should be in this group. This is where Scott and I announce everything that's coming up new, but it's also places where our clients talk about what's going on and how they're using our system. This person right here just 2 days ago put in that he's run an ad for 7 days, and he's got 171 leads in 7 days. Okay, so that's kind of what we want to talk about, is how are people getting leads? I mean, 171 leads in 7 days, that's pretty good. And now he's going to shoot for 300 in June. These are really achievable numbers. I'm going to show you how you do that. So let's go over to listings to leads, and let's talk a little bit about what's in the system and what you can use, and what are the kinds of ads that you should be running. If we go over to the ads tab on the left-hand side, you're going to see a pop-up here, and I'm going to talk about it for a moment. Yeah, this Facebook retargeting. Now, this is almost a little bit advanced. It's been and it's been something that most of our clients didn't use, and some clients did understand the power of retargeting. And what we've just added to the system is the ability to make retargeting really easy. So let me explain to you what that is. First of all, when you see this pop up here, you should click that green button there that says accept terms. And I'm not going to do that because it takes a few minutes. It goes into Facebook and it kind of connects a bunch of stuff. So it takes a few minutes, and I don't want us to wait for that. But what I want you to understand, what retargeting will do is, and it's really kind of powerful, is when you capture leads through our system, those leads get dropped into like a spreadsheet, right? And it's housed on Facebook, and there will be 3 spreadsheets created. One will be all leads, one will be seller leads, and one will be buyer leads. And I'm going to show you in a few minutes that there are lots of ways to run ads to get seller leads, and there are lots of ways to capture buyer leads. So those leads, based on the type of ad you're running, are going to drop into the appropriate files. And what's more important than that is that when you go run your next ad, you can say, I want to also make sure that custom audience of my buyer leads or my seller leads or all leads also see that. And here's why that's important. I think a lot of realtors capture a lead and contact a lead right away and feel like that lead's going to turn into business like right there. And in imagination land, that would be fantastic and true. But in the real world, you actually got to touch and contact leads multiple times. And one of the ways of doing that is to continue to send ads to the same person. So if the person responded to your ad one time and you drop it in a custom audience, you can retarget it. You can run the ad so that if you're running ads every week, they're going to see your business page every week. And after some amount of time, they're going to probably start to respond and say, yeah, you know, I've been seeing your ads for a while and I need help. Can you help me? So it's really an awesome way to help convert. All right. So that's what Facebook retargeting is. And there's even something even crazier. Let me look at this. Let me look at the list of who's here again. So some of you, I recognize your name for a while, right? But many of you, I don't. But so let me tell this to you. If you are a client and you've been a client of ours for a while, our clients, it's not atypical for our clients to generate hundreds of leads from Facebook ads every month. And that means that some of our clients have thousands of leads, you know. And when you turn on that Facebook retargeting, we're going to reach back for all your leads that are inside your account, and we're going to sweep them into those files that I just mentioned. So you're going to be able to retarget all the leads that you've been capturing with us. And I think that's an awesome thing. Any future leads that you capture with Facebook ads are going to be dropped into the appropriate files, the appropriate audiences, and then you can go for it. So let's go talk about what to do. How do you run ads? First of all, this is our ads page, and I've already been in it. If you've never come to this page before, you're not going to see all this. You're going to see a big blue button right in the middle, and it's going to say connect to Facebook. It's a big blue button, and you click it, and it's going to say continue as you in your personal name, and you say yes. And then the next page will say, great, what business page do you want to reflect here? And you'll say, well, I want to go to my real estate, you know, business page. And it will then connect the ad manager from Facebook to this page right here. And then it makes creating an ad super easy. Now, where I am here, you can see all my ads that I've run in the past. You can see what I've spent, stuff like that. You won't have anything here until you've actually run an ad. But these three buttons here will appear: create listing ad, create landing page ad, and create PDF report ad. And I'm going to show you how these work in a moment. But these will be the things that you see as soon as you connect your Facebook account. So I see a question here, and go ahead and drop them in. I'm not seeing a screen that says waiting for view. Does everybody see my screen or no? That would be a real bummer. I think everybody, Alina, I think everybody is seeing my screen. Yeah. I have a feeling you have a slow computer. That's the only thing I can suggest. You see the title page. No, I am showing my screen. New MacBook. Yeah, I kind of feel like you maybe try another browser and logging in with a different browser if you have a new MacBook. Because people are seeing what I'm talking about, right? Everybody's looking at my ads page and there's multiple ads. Okay, thanks. Sorry about that. All right. So here we are on the ads page. Let's just assume that you had just connected and you're going to see three green buttons. Let's talk about one of the ways to get buyer leads, right? And I know that there's always the question is, I don't want to talk to buyers, but there are a lot of you that want to talk to buyers. So we're just going to start easy. Click this button that says create listing ad. The number one way to get buyer leads is to market a home that's for sale, right? I have one right here for sale. Leave it right here where it says lead ads, leave that alone. What that means is we're going to have a pre-populated form. It gets really good leads with phone numbers, right? So here is what my ad looks like over here on the right. Now, I'm using our text service, so it auto embeds this short code so people can text right there. And all you need to do is over here on the 3-step quick publish is click this button that says create new form, and then create form again. It's going to create this form that we see on the right here. and it says full name, email, and phone number. These are forms that pop up on Facebook, and they are pre-populated with the information that people have on their profile. And that's what makes it really crazy powerful, is that people don't have to type in the stuff anymore. They just want the answer, they click yes, and they're submitting to you, they're giving you that information. So you click this button here that says create form, and then you type in the location. I'm going to type in a location here, Lafayette, California, yeah. And you might want to adjust the radius. The minimum radius you can do on an ad is 15 miles. But some of us live in places where we might drive 30 minutes. And if that's the case, you want to expand that. At this point, you can just publish. What we do is when you're running an ad for buyers, and that's, we can tell by the kind of property or the kind of tool you're using, we put a $35 budget. It's right here. You can adjust it if you want. And we also put a 7-day ad, right? So when I showed you that ad right here, he ran a 7-day ad. I think he added more money. Oh no, he spent $35 on most for 7 days. So it was that same kind of ad, and he just got a bunch of leads, right? So all you got to do is click publish. And once you click publish, it's going to say, we will post that in 1 minute. And then you can, that ad will appear on the ads page right here where we are. I want to kind of point out, you see this language that says for sale in Auburn. We're grabbing dynamic information from the property description, and we're putting the city and the status and stuff like that. But you might know something about the home that we don't know, right? Like for instance, if I, over here on the left box where it says primary text, if I type in great schools, it shows up on the right over here, great schools. So if you want that to be in there because you want to give people more reasons to click on your ad, well, that's where you sort of do it, okay? So I see a question here. Let's get that before we... Ari can't hear me. I'm not sure why Ari can't hear me, but I think everybody can hear me, right? So on that, you just click the button here. It's pretty simple, right? Create the form, type in your city, update your radius if you want to, and click publish. Now I'm going to click this button right here. He says where it says retarget current leads. Now you don't need to do this, especially if you're new to us, but this is where you search on your buyer and seller if you have custom audiences. So you make your custom audience inside of Facebook normally, right? In the past, you could create your own custom audience, and then you can tell us right here, I want to target that. And I'm going to give you one more kind of pro tip. I was just talking to somebody yesterday who has a bunch of leads in KV Core, right? So that's her CRM. And you might all have CRMs with a bunch of leads, and they're sitting in that CRM, and you probably got a drip campaign going on, right? Well, you can download that list of leads with the email addresses and go over to the Facebook ad manager. There's a different way to do it. You wouldn't do it inside listings to leads, and you would create a custom audience. And when you go create a custom audience, you would name it, and I would name it KV Core leads, or maybe whatever your CRM leads are, so that when you come here and you say, yeah, I want to target the listings to leads, seller leads, and I want to target all my KV Core leads. You would be able to type that in the box right here, and it would just show your custom audiences. So that's what makes retargeting super powerful, is once you've got them as a lead one time, what if you got them sitting in your CRM, you've been dripping on them for a year? Well, now you can run ads, and if they're in Facebook, they're going to see that ad, right? And that's going to help you convert those leads. Yeah, thanks, Michaela. So that's how you run an ad. Pretty simple. Once you've run the ad, once you run it in as soon as you've done it, it's going to sit right here in this box. You see these boxes, these little thumbnail graphics. Your ad's going to sit right there. And you can see things like cost per click and how many people saw it, stuff like that, okay? Any lead that's captured, we're going to email to you automatically. If you go to your profile, I'll go to my profile real quickly, and you go to CRM integration, we can drop your leads in the CRM as well, right? So we'd email it to you, it goes into your CRM, you turn on your drip campaigns there automatically, and things start working for you, right? That's kind of how it is. But let's go back to ads and let's talk about seller leads, okay? In this one, I'm gonna tell you one of the top things that agents feel is the top way to get seller leads, okay? And let's just do it. Create landing page, free home values, lead ads, create an ad. This is what many agents right now think is the top way of getting listing leads. And, you know, I think it's for good reason, because actually for many years, this was the top way. But things have changed on Facebook, and this is the last way to get a good listing lead from Facebook. And so I want to recommend to all of you that you run an ad just like this once a month, strictly from a branding standpoint. And so you understand, you'll notice that this is sponsored by Listings to Leads. That's because I'm working here with Listings to Leads, right? But yours is going to be sponsored by your business page. And what I want to sort of let you know is that these leads are a little bit wonky. They're not the highest quality leads, but it's a smart thing to do, because when you run an ad, thousands of people are going to see it. And you're telling thousands of people that you can give them a free home value. You might get some leads from that. They won't be the highest quality listing leads. We have other tools that get you high quality listing leads. I'll show you a couple in a minute. But it is wise to do this once a month, but this should not be your main strategy for getting listings, okay? I just want everybody to be clear on that. Now, if I want to run this ad, I do the same thing. I click create new form here. I click create form bottom down here and type in the location. I'm going to type in the location again so that we can talk a little bit about why this is not as effective as it used to be. Stop that. Stop that. Okay. So, and we'll leave it. So you type in a location, you create the form, and you can confirm the budget, right? Now, if you have seller leads that you've been capturing, you could click this and say, I want the L2L seller leads, right? So that you're retargeting them. If you captured them once as a seller, you can keep going until, you know, they raise their hand and say, let's sign a document. So let's talk about why this is not super good, and I think you'll learn something about Facebook in just a minute. If you run an ad on get your free home value as a generic concept, you don't get a lot of great results. And that's because our homes are special, right? I live in a county called Contra Costa County, and our homes in my town of Lafayette are pretty pricey. If you go 2 towns over, the price is like down by 30%. If you drive 20 minutes east of me, the homes are down, you know, even like 60%. So you can't run, you know, what's a Bucks County ad, you know, home worth now, because unless you live in a county where everything, the median price is the same, everybody lives in like a unique area, right? And so home value, it's really has to be that you know a specific area, right? And for instance, Lafayette, where I am, this is a small town of 24,000 people. You want to tell people that you know everything about Lafayette. The problem with Facebook is you can't target the people in Lafayette. The minimum radius is 15 miles. And I can tell you, if I make a 15-mile loop around Lafayette, the price ranges from 300,000 to 10 million. And this Lafayette ad is going to reach out to all those people. And if I created, if the way to write it is you would say, hey, what is your Lafayette home worth now? And that would be the problem. It just doesn't work. You can't go generic, and you can't target by a zip code or a town because Facebook won't let you. So that's why these things don't work very well, but it's still something that I think you should do like once a month so that you're just telling the market, hey, I can get you a home value. Okay. So let's talk about a better way to get listing leads from Facebook. There are two ways of getting a listing leads from Facebook. You can create a listing ad like we did before, and you can do a PDF report ad. Let's start on the PDF report ad. So when you click here, you'll notice that there are 3 tabs, and one of them says seller reports. We have created 50 PDF reports, 25 for buyers and 25 for sellers. Okay. When you download them, they'll be branded to you. And I saw something in our mastermind group that you can change the color scheme of this and all that, which is great. I don't know where you can do it yet, but you can ask support on that. But let's just say you want to do a post on the 12 mistakes to avoid when selling a home. Well, you click on this right here, and here's a guide, a free guide, right? So this is what the ad looks like over here on the right. And what do you do to run an ad? Well, you click create form just like we did before, and you click create form down here on the bottom left, and you type in your word, your town like Lafayette, and at this point, you can change the radius as much as you want. Now the radius is a question of how far do you want to drive, right? Because this will make a 15-mile radius. And I'll tell you, driving 30 miles in business hours in the Bay Area is a nightmare. So you might want to just think, oh, I don't want to go that far. But if you do, and you're fine going 40-mile drive, put that out there. The nice thing about this is a quality, we wrote these ourselves. We wrote these PDF reports ourselves. They're high level, not a lot of detail. They make sense across the country. And they have your contact information on. So when they run this ad, when you run this ad and they respond, we're going to send them an instant message where they can download it, right? So you don't have to even mess with the report. It just happens. So all you need to remember is create the form, type in your location, adjust the radius, and then change this. If you want to retarget and send to other ads, great, go ahead and do that, or other leads. That's how you do it. James, you were able to update to Century 21, is that right? That's very cool. Where did you do that, James? See, this is how, this just got announced like, let's see here. Where did you make that adjustment? Where do you make that change? In the library. Cool, thanks, James. I'm gonna click in the library real quick. And here it says media from L to L. I'm gonna guess it's here. Yeah, so right here, if you go to the library on the tab underneath ads on the left, go to media from L to L. And then it says you can change your color theme, so show me how. So I'm going to click here, and this is going to kind of take us, go to settings. So there's a little walkthrough. So if I go to settings, this is the default scheme. What? Oh man, I'm going to break down and cry. That is awesome. That's a really nice way that we did that. Super cool. Geez, many crickets. Okay, that's great news. Thanks, James, for helping me out there. I didn't know that. So what that does is that will change the color scheme of all these to meet your branding needs, right? And so, and I'll tell you this, and I'm not sure if it, let me do that one more time. Default, choose an option. Yeah, these are kind of the bigger, the bigger kind of brands that we know are out there. I'll talk to Scott about us getting, in case you don't know this, and we're kind of going in the weeds here, but I'm just going to go here because one, that's pretty powerful and I'm psyched. Two, in your profile, you have an appearance tab. And you might not, and this is where you control the appearance of your look, right? Of your things, which even if you have a custom one, and many of you are not with large franchises out there or agencies, so you might have your own custom look. You could change that right here, right? You could change these buttons to work there. And you would want to make sure, we would want to make sure that you're able to use that in your PDFs, because right now the defaults are blue. Okay, cool. Well, that's interesting. So let's go back and let's talk about, again, let's just do another PDF report ad. So that, because I've kind of jumped around. So here's seller reports. Let's do the 5 dangers of overpricing and create new form, create it here, and type in your location and publish. That's how you do it. Now, I'm going to point out one thing I forgot to mention earlier. See this green box here? It says terms of service have been accepted. View terms. The first time you come to this page, it's going to tell you to accept those terms. And then you click that link, and there's one box at the top of the page, and you check it and you save it. And those are terms of service from Facebook. You only need to do that one time, and then from then on, it's checked that you're good to go. Okay, so it's really 3 steps to create an ad. Create new form, type in the location, and publish. Once you get good at running ads, and let's just talk about this one here. Let's just say that you had really good results with this PDF report, and you're like, wow, I got a lot of leads, right? This guy over here in the mastermind group 2 days ago said, I got 171 leads, no brainer to do, right, in 7 days. So that's good. That's really great results. At that point, you can once you get good results, you can change this budget to spend more if you want more leads. In case you don't know how this works, it's called pay-per-click advertising. Every time somebody clicks on this ad, it chews off a little bit of your money. Okay, if you got 50 bucks. If somebody clicks, maybe it chews up $3 every time, right? So that's how it works. So, it'll run the ad until you run out of time, like 7 days, or you run out of money, like 50 bucks, okay? So once you get good at it, you can increase your budget. Let's talk about another way of getting seller leads on Facebook. And that, a good way, is to create a listing ad for a property that's sold, right? Now I have one here that's in contract, but when we recommend that you market your homes at multiple stages, right? Just listed, open house, maybe under contract or pending, but definitely sold, right? If you want listings, definitely run ads as sold. Leave it on lead ads so we get the pre-populated phone numbers, click create ad, and notice what the ad looks like. It says, hey, this property is sold, and that's going to affect your home value. Text here or click here to get your free estimate of your home value. That's how this works, okay? And so how do you create that ad? Create form here, and do type in your location, retarget if you've got a custom audience built in Facebook, and then publish, right? So I printed this PDF, incorporated it with a nearby homeowner letter for, oh, cool, James, that's cool. That's good, yeah. And that has to do with, no, Abir has a good question. Abir, you can't upload you can't upload your lead list to listings to leads. So when you want to create a custom audience, you do that inside of Facebook. So let me see if I can get there without wasting a ton of our time. if you go to see more, here's the ad center or ad manager right here. So on the left-hand column, I'm in Facebook, click ad manager. It's kind of tricky to get here, but if you watch this, you'll see how to do it. I've got my ad blocker on, so it's telling me to stop. Let's see if I can do that. Yeah, okay. So it's over here on the left somewhere. Creative Hub. I can't remember where it is. Oh, audiences. You see this right up here? So if we click, there's the house up here. The next one says all tools and it says audiences. Now, I think when I click audiences, it's going to allow me to create a custom audience. So Beer, if you have, if any of you have a CRM and you've got an audience, or you've got, so here it says create an audience. I want to create a custom audience. And, you know, my source, what's my source? A customer list, right? And you upload the list from there and you name it. Name it so that you can easily find it, because when you go back to listings to leads and you want to use that list, you're going to kind of type in whatever you named him in there. So if you've got a CRM, yeah, KV Core, it's exactly right up there. If you're using Boomtown, you got a bunch of Boomtown leads. If wherever you're getting your leads, if you want to sort of retarget them and re-hit them until they finally do a transaction with you, creating an audience is a really, really smart way to go. And then you can use this button here, retarget current leads, to target them, to retarget them. So in a way, if I did this, if I said Lafayette, everybody within 15 miles of Lafayette, if I can spell the town I live in, and then I retarget to all my old leads, it's gonna hit both of those segments, right? Everybody in my list and everybody that's within 15 miles of Lafayette. And we're really awesome at capturing leads, listings to leads. We've been here for more than 11 years because we have a lot of tools that capture leads. And with this ad creator page that I'm showing you here, there was somebody here who'd never run an ad before. This is so much easier to run a Facebook ad in real estate than Facebook actually is. To run an ad in Facebook is kind of a nightmare. And it's always changing in Facebook. Like it's physically, the page looks different about every month that you drop into Facebook. It's just like they move stuff around and you got to go find it. But instead, you can come to listings to leads, choose what you want, and do these three functions: create the form, put the location, and publish. And that makes running ads super easy. Okay, so let me ask you if there are any questions. And while I'm waiting for those questions, I want to give you a high-level way to think about Facebook. Okay. And this goes for all of you, but I am going to tell you that I tell this to everybody who is new, meaning you're a new agent. Like you have no business, you don't have listings, what do I do? Right? And this is what I tell them. I tell them you should run 2 ads every week. And that means 8 ads a month. So what kind of ads would you run? I tell everybody to create a listing ad. And like I just said, you might not have your own listings, but you can borrow listings. You can borrow listings from your office. We have My Farm Dominator, which helps you borrow listings as long as it doesn't, affect your MLS rules and stuff like that. But just go here and say, yeah, I borrowed one from one of my, colleagues in my office, and I'm going to create the form, type in the city, and I'm going to change this budget from the 35 to 20. and you see gives you this red mark, that's because Facebook will only allow an ad that's spending $5 a day. So I'm going to change it to a 4-day ad. So I really recommend that you run a 4-day ad for 20 bucks every week on any property at any status, just listed, coming soon, open house, pending, under contract, or sold. Because when you run a $20 ad, and I don't know where you guys live, but probably 2,000 to 3,000 people will see your ad as it appears over here on the right? Now, not all 2,000 or 3,000 people are going to click it, but they're going to see it. And it's going to say sponsored by your business page. So you're building your brand for 20 bucks by running a $20 ad every week. And some of those ads you could do for buyers, and some of you can do for sellers, just depending on the status of the home. During each week, you should also run either a landing page ad or a PDF report ad. And I showed you how to do a PDF report ad. Let's go look at the landing page ad. And you can also create your own custom landing pages, right? I think I've got one here for down payer assistance, right? So every week, run a $30 ad, right? You'll notice that we've put this up for 35, change it to 30. And then maybe just shave a day off of here. Maybe that'll take away the red mark. Yeah. So create form, type in your location, change it 30 bucks. So that's a $20 ad plus a $30 ad. That's $50 a week. There are 4 weeks every month. That's a $200 ad spend every month. Let me tell you, for that, by spending $200 on 8 ads, your business page, like mine right here, Listings Leads, will be seen by 15 to 20,000 people. It'll be seen that many times. Some of those people will click on it. You'll probably capture 1 to 200 leads just from that, right? Probably more. I mean, I just showed you Bill Nazaroff, who spent 35 bucks. Where? I got to go look at that again. That's kind of crazy. That's a lot of leads for 35 bucks. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about, hey, Lisa. Give me a second here, guys. I want to look at this thing by Bill Nazaroff, because this agent came in, and I can't remember where Bill is, but it's a bit of a factor, and that's why I'm going to bring it up. Bill mentioned 2 days ago that he has run an ad, and he's got 171 leads in 7 days. So where is Bill? I can't, let me just see if I can get to him. I kind of think like I'm trying to figure out where he is in the country, actually, because there are a couple of factors that, yeah, Fresno, that's this, I know Bill. Yeah, okay, that's right. So Fresno is in the lower part of California. Fresno is actually a big town, but it's kind of like almost like the farming area. So for some reason, buyer leads are really cheap in his area. And that's not always the case. Sometimes they're a little bit more, I would say on average, a buyer lead costs around $1 a lead. And seller leads, I would say, cost around $5 a lead. Facebook knows that there's a higher value for listing leads, so they charge you more. That's amazing that's about 50 cents a lead. That's awesome. For buyer leads, and most of those are coming in with phone numbers. So that's money well spent, in my opinion. So let's see here, guys. If you have questions, let me know what they are. When we borrow a listing, does it show the listing agent's name? Deborah, no. If you need it to show the listing agent's name, you can edit that, right? So let me kind of tackle that just so we understand that. If we go to listings, there is a big green button that says add listing, okay? And if you talk to somebody, like maybe there's somebody in your office that has a listing, maybe you're on a team and they're like, hey, I'm gonna use one of the team listings. And you click grab active listing, all you need is a zip code and the MLS ID. If you're not the listing agent, deselect this and grab it, and we'll pull it in. Okay. And it will look like your listing, but if you need to, then if the local MLS rules say, hey, you can market anybody's listing, but you've got to have the listing agent's name on it. Well, then I would say click the edit button over here, the pencil, and where it says listing information, go down to the property description and say, listing courtesy of whoever, right? That's what I would do. So Kathy saying, thoughts on running a sold ad without an address, but maybe the neighborhood. Yeah. Yeah, I think you can do that. So Kathy is asking a question that, what if I want to run a sold ad? And let's go to listings. And let's go to my listings page. And I have a property here that's sold, right? This one's sold. And notice it says contact for price here. If you go to edit, you can take out the price, right? You could also take out the address and say, sold in Lafayette or something like that. Here it says contact for price, right? So you can edit things like that to sort of meet your needs. I hope that answers your question, Kathy. I saw another question and I lost it. Let's see here. Yeah, okay. Can we create our own PDF and submit it to run? This is a good question. The answer is yes. So if you go to landing pages, you can create all kinds of custom landing pages. And right here, you go to type. And so Deborah's saying she wants to have her own PDF. Maybe you have one, right? And you have, so here it says custom free report for buyers or custom free report for sellers, right? So either way, you would type it, you put it there, you type in the location, and you would do it. And click add landing page over here on the right. And you do have to customize it. I would probably ask support if you get stuck. I have one here that says custom for buyers. So I'm going to click edit. And you can edit, the background. You could put a picture. You can change this language here. You notice I've got a video here, right? So you can get a YouTube video and snap it in right here, and that will sort of appear here. It says waterfront properties right here. That is the lead form text. So whatever you want to say, you type it here and it shows up over here, right? And that's page one. And I think page two, let's go to page two. Yeah, this is here where you gotta, whatever page two is, however you make it. And then I think it's a success page, which is like, yeah, that's the end. That's kind of like the goodbye page. What I don't understand and where it is, let's go to, you probably have to ask support. You actually upload the report here, and we'll host it. And then when you created it, and people respond to the ad, we just sort of deliver the ad when they respond, right? I just don't remember where you add that report. And that's so you'll have to figure that out. But I know our support team will do it. So that says custom landing page for buyers, ELK. So if I go over here to ads, I can actually say I want to create a landing page ad, and I want to use one of my custom report landing page ELK right here, right? And create the ad. And then that's going to create the ad just like we've been creating the ad, and it's going to allow that. Oh, you know what? I clicked the wrong one. That's why. Now I know why I couldn't custom landing. So that's custom landing page, but the ELK one didn't have the place for reports. So if you're going to have the report, then that's where you want to use the report landing page if you got a PDF. So that's how you do that. So you go create it on the landing page section, and you create the landing page ad here. Okay. Any other questions? That's kind of my story for today, guys. The broader, set up retargeting, use retargeting, and and then create at least 2 ads a week. If you're somebody with multiple listings, I think you need to run more ads to showcase those listings, right? Just sold ad. Do you advise to do 15-mile max around the same neighborhood? Yeah, so there's a question. That's a, let me kind of answer this. So let's say you got a just sold, and you want to run a just sold ad, and you now know that if you leave it on lead ads, we're going to get, this is designed to get you listing leads, right? You can't target anything tighter. So I'm just going to type in Lafayette again. Let's assume that we sold it in Lafayette. There's a, the radius actually has something to do more with your desire of how far you want to reach, right? Because you might want everybody to know that you can sell homes in Lafayette, right? Like a lot of people, because some people want to buy homes in Lafayette. So it kind of depends on how far do you want people to know what you're up to, what you're doing. Because it's not saying get your Lafayette home value, it's a little more generic. So you do get listing leads from it. You're not getting a lot of listing leads from these kinds of ads, but you do get some. So I don't think I have a problem with an expanded radius on this. If you click retarget current leads, will it target those? Yes, Mike. If you click on retarget, so let's say I've got a leads. In this case, it's a sold ad. So I'm after listing leads because it's a sold property, okay? And I'm running an ad that says 15 miles current, radius of Lafayette. So it's going to hit everybody within 15 miles of Lafayette. But then if I go over here and I say, whatever, my Zillow leads or my KV Core leads, it's going to target those people as well. And some of those people may live outside of the radius, right? But they're going to see them as well. So it's kind of an overlap of these two types of segments. And I want to say one more thing, because when we talked about retargeting earlier, I told you that listings to leads, when you turn it on with us, we're going to create 3 files: all leads, buyer leads, and seller leads. And just so you know, I don't think there's anything wrong. If you captured somebody as a buyer lead, there's nothing wrong with showing them seller ads in the future. If you capture somebody as a seller lead, there's nothing wrong with saying, hey, here's homes for sale. Because what you're really doing is you're building your brand, right? And the whole point of advertising is that people call you, right? And if you're running 8 ads a week and people are seeing you twice a week, they know you're a professional, right? And so if you're hitting all your leads over and over, it's beneficial for you. They're going to raise their hand when you're doing something that's relevant to them. And I want to say, when we go to ads and we go to create PDF report ads, there are 50 different reports. There's a lot of different valuable information that you can share with people that's branded to you, that's got your colors and all that stuff. So there are lots of ways of staying relevant in front of your target, because if you're capturing leads and putting them in your CRM and hoping that your drip campaign is going to get your phone ringing, you might realize that actually doesn't happen that easily. But now imagine you're capturing leads, you're dropping in your CRM, and then you're also running ads up in front of them on Facebook. They're going to know who you are, right? And that's where you want to be. You want people to be calling you and saying, yeah, I need help. I know you're doing all this and that. So that's the value. That's a real important value of Facebook advertising. The PDF reports are awesome. What if we did it for 300? Will I get more sellers around this just sold house? Do you mean as opposed to my $200 ad budget that I was suggesting, Abir? The point is the more you spend on ads, the more leads you get typically. Will I get more e-sellers around the just sold house? Yeah, so we do a default. Let me just, so Abir's asking about a just sold ad. So if I do an ad for create an ad, lead ad, sold property, and the default is $50. So let's just take an assumption, and this number will be different for all of you around the country. But let's just say it's $5 a seller lead. Every time somebody clicks on your ad, it chews off $5 of this $50. Well, you can probably assume you will get 10 leads from this, and then the ad will expire, right? And if you find like that's working well, you could, the next time you run this ad, say, hey, you know what? I'm going to run this for $100 and I'm going to get twice as many leads. So Abir, I hope that answers your question, right? When you create a custom audience in Facebook and then get leads, can we add those to the custom audience or do we have to re-up? Okay, that's a great question. So we've talked about creating a custom audience in Facebook, which is like a little more manual, right? And I said, hey, if you got leads from KV Core or you got leads from some other resource, load them up as a custom list in a custom audience in Facebook. That's kind of a static list. When you turn on retargeting on our page, on the ads page, every time you capture a lead, it automatically goes into your list that listings to leads creates for you. Does that answer the question, Michaela? Where every time you capture a lead on any new lead, it's going to go into the files so that you can just pull those up on your future ads. And also, I'm going to repeat this, if you had leads, as long as you've been a client with us, and there are a bunch of leads in your account, we've got clients with thousands of leads inside their account right now. If they turn on retargeting ads, they're going to have all those leads that are sitting there in the past drop into their custom audiences that we create in their Facebook account, and any new leads will be added to those files. So you don't have to refresh anything from listings to leads is a short answer, Michaela. Okay. Yeah, no, you don't have to worry about that. Once you set it up one time, you'll need to do that. Now, there is a nuance about custom audiences. And this is true whether you create your own inside of Facebook or whether we create them like I just told you by turning on retargeting. If you don't have 1,000 people in that file, in that custom audience, Facebook won't let you use it for retargeting, okay? So this is important, and I'm gonna just slow down. Let's say that you've got leads in KV Core, but you only have 500 leads and you go and create a custom audience on Facebook and you call it KV Core. Well, you're not going to be able to use that because it needs to have 1,000 people in it for Facebook to allow you to use this. So if you've got another, let's say in the past you're using Market Leader or whatever, Lion Desk, you got other leads, just put them all in there so that it's 1,000, and then say, hey, now you can use it. That's the weird thing about Facebook. And it's also going to impact us. So let's say you're a new client with listings to leads today, and you have no leads, but you take the initiative and you turn on Facebook retargeting. Well, we're still going to create 3 files in your Facebook account. And every week you start capturing a couple hundred leads and we drop them in. You're not going to be able to use those files for retargeting until you get 1,000 leads in there. All right. That's a little bit of it in the weeds kind of stuff, but it's just a reality of Facebook that you should probably know. Do I have to make right now with the old LTL? No. So Michaela, let me repeat that. with the old elder or the, yeah. So if you have leads in your account now, they're going to be auto swept into the new uh, custom audience files that we create for you. So you don't need to worry about the leads that are inside your account. Okay. Yeah. And so that's that. Are there any more questions? Yeah, retargeting, guys, is great because, you know, capturing leads is awesome, but turning them into business is where you get paid. And retargeting is a great way to do that, you know. So if you combine retargeting with kind of that simple strategy of running 2 ads a week, you're gonna be in front of those people, and the people who are serious and need help are gonna know who you are. So don't forget to use that. Definitely use that. And that's kind of my story. Any more questions? Which account are you talking about? I'm lost. Where is this? This is the ads tab of my account, Abir. What do you mean you're lost? You're welcome, Michaela. I think I know. So, Abir, and in case anyone else is lost, we're talking about custom audiences. It's you retarget with a custom audience. And when you turn on retargeting and listings to leads, we're going to create 3 custom audiences inside of your Facebook account, and we're going to keep adding leads to that, right? Every time you capture a lead with our ads, we're going to keep adding to that, and you can always retarget. You're welcome, Kathy. But you can also go directly over to Facebook in your own ads manager and create your own custom audience of your own leads, which we already talked about here. So these two are connected, right? Our ads page, you're going to connect to your Facebook ad manager, and it's going to see those custom audiences that you built in the past. And it's going to also have the custom audiences that listings to leads that's built for you. So everybody, I think that's kind of enough. I hope this helps you. Definitely use it. Don't forget that down here on the left is the support team. Any question you have, put it right here in this box. The whole team watches that, and they'll get you fast answers. And then if you're not in the mastermind group, definitely ask the support team to get you in here. It's a private group. You can't see it unless you're in it. And so you can't find it if you're not in the group. So just use our support team to get in there. Well, thanks everybody, and take it easy, keep safe, and let us know. I'll tell you what I always appreciate from everybody, just like Bill here did. Bill's been a long time client. So whenever you have success, or even if you don't have success, we would love to know what your results are. And a lot of clients, you know, what we don't know and what actually changes all the time is what a cost per lead is. And that's because in certain parts of the country, you have more competition or not or whatever. And so it's kind of, it's surprising to me that Bill is getting buyer leads for less than 50 cents a lead. That's not always true. So I don't know where you are in the country, but it really helps all of us if you come in the mastermind group and say, hey, I ran an ad, I got 20 leads, and it's costing me about 80 cents a lead or $1.20 a lead. It just gives us knowledge so that we can all understand what's happening in Facebook. It's a weird, you know, it's a weird environment. There's nothing exact. It's always changing. So if you can, if you're running ads, we'd love to hear how that's working for you. All right, everybody. Let's see, Patricia, yeah. Deborah, I can't ask, I can't add you to the mastermind group. I am not support. I'm the guy that sets up the offices. The support page is right here on the left in your account, and you can ask them right there, hey, please get me in the mastermind group, and they'll get you in. Patricia has a question about how you create the custom report. So you might want, Patricia, since I went through this before, I'm going to go through it kind of quickly, but I would again ask the support team, go to landing pages, hit this little drop down, and you either want to create a custom free report for buyers or a custom free report for sellers. Then type in your location and click add. And once you do that, that's going to be down here on your list. So I have one here, custom free report for sellers. And when you click edit, you'll be able to edit all this. You can change the background picture. And I think it's on, where do you, is it page 2? It's got to be a place somewhere where you can upload the report. I just don't know where it is. Yeah, I just don't know where it is. So I would ask the support team. Yeah, and by the way, if you are on a team or if you're in an office and you want, discounted pricing for large groups, my email is vince@listingstoleads.com. That's my phone number right there. And I'm the one that sets those offices up around the country and in Canada and all fun places. So take it easy, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.